What's the most disastrous policy change your boss ever announced? When I first joined this massive multinational tech company, let's call it Globex Systems, I was assigned to a giant 300-person project supporting the IT backbone of a national telecom provider. My tiny slice of responsibility was the customer care application support team. It handled the internal web app used by help desk staff, the public FAQ site, and the email ticketing system customers used to contact support. Originally, there were 2 of us. Not a lot, but manageable. But a few months after I arrived, my teammate quietly transferred to another department. No replacement, no warning, no explanation. Suddenly, the entire support load for this huge system landed on me. Almost immediately, the ticket queue started growing like it had a life of its own. Sev 1 outages were happening constantly, Sev 2s piled up behind them, and Sev 3s became something I saw only if I scrolled way down. I still remember one moment clearly. A polite analyst from another team walked over to my desk. "Hey," she said, "I submitted ticket 123456. Do you think you'll be able to look at it this week?" I pulled it up. Sev 3. I mentally counted everything ahead of it. 4 Sev 1s from yesterday alone, a growing list of Sev 2s, and whatever else might happen today. 4 weeks, I said. She blinked. 4 weeks? That's assuming we don't have any outages, I said. We average 3 a week. She looked around like maybe someone else would appear out of thin air. Isn't there another person on this team? There was, I said. Now there's just me. She walked away very slowly. On top of all that, we also had an on-call rota because parts of our systems were public-facing. The rota consisted of exactly 2 people, me and the guy who had transferred away but still wanted the extra cash. Every week we swapped, Monday to Monday. If I worked 8 hours in the office, I was on call for the other 16. By the end of a normal week, I'd be on call for over 120 hours. But here's the thing, Globex had a generous overtime structure. Even just being on call earned a quarter of my hourly rate, and if I got called out 2 a.m., 4 a.m., didn't matter. It was paid at my overtime rate. It wasn't fun, especially when I had to come back in the next day on little sleep, but the money made it worthwhile. I wasn't doing much extra overtime besides the on-call work because I was exhausted. During the day, I fixed outages as quickly as possible, but I wasn't able to do any long-term improvement work. It was pure survival mode. Occasionally, the service managers complained about the ticket backlog, but every time I asked them what I should drop to work on Sev 3s, they admitted I was prioritizing correctly. Then one morning, 3 different people stopped me before I even reached my desk. "Have you seen the announcement?" I hadn't, but when I finally sat down and opened my email, there it was. Overtime pay was ending. In 2 months, everything would switch to toil. Time off in lieu. No more doubled salary. No more extra income from on-call. And then I saw the calculation table they attached. Let's just say it didn't take long for me to notice something interesting. I opened my spreadsheet, entered a few example weeks, and stared at the totals. Something wasn't adding up. Or rather, it was adding up, just not in the way management intended. So I made a plan. For the next month, I quietly did small amounts of overtime. An hour here, 2 hours there. Enough to reduce the ticket queue. The managers noticed immediately. "This is the first time the queue has gone down in months," one of them said. "Whatever you're doing, thank you." I nodded and kept going. They expected me to complain about the new toil system like everyone else, but I didn't. I smiled. I said it would probably be fine. After a month, I booked a meeting with one of the service managers. I brought my spreadsheet. "I wanted to show you something about the upcoming toil change," I said. He already looked tired. "All right, what's the issue?" I showed him a week when I was on call. "Under the new rules," I said, "this week earns me 41 hours off." He frowned. "Your contract is 37 hours. Exactly. So after every on-call week, I'd have to take the entire next week off, fully paid, not working." He blinked. "That can't be right." "It is. And over time, I'll accumulate so many hours off that I won't even be able to join the rota anymore." Now he looked alarmed. "Walk me through it again." I did, twice more. He ended the meeting with a worried, "Leave this with me." 2 weeks later, a new announcement went out. The toil change was postponed. It never returned. Within months, our team expanded to 4 people. I finally had breathing room, time to prevent issues instead of constantly reacting, and even the chance to work with the developers. That eventually led to me moving into a hybrid support/development role, and later into full software development. As for the on-call pay, it lasted a couple more years before the company reduced it, but they never tried to swap it for toil again.